I got my coffee and I am ready to go for this Q&A. Brett is gonna join us here in a little bit. He's outside mowing the lawn. There was a couple of questions that were asked to my kids, so they will come whenever I get there. They were out in the pool just a little bit ago. So if they come in looking like drowned rats, please excuse it. But for right now, it's just you and me. So let's get started. Okay. Let's talk about animals. So somebody asked, what was the deal with selling the goats and the cow and then buying another cow and whatever? So let me explain. All right. So when we moved from the other homestead, it's been a year in March, it was a year, to this one, we thought we had more usable land for pasture than we did. It turns out we have this like lowland swamp area. And so our original cow, Brownie, which is now Brenda, we had her, Emma the horse, and then the goats. And we needed the goats because Charlotte needed goat milk. And so we decided that, we knew we couldn't do goats and a cow and a horse. There was no way. And so we decided that we were going to sell, and Brownie also had Sunday, her baby, which is now, I forgot what Ruth Ann named her. My bad. Anyway, the point is, we knew we couldn't, on our land, we knew we couldn't have all of those animals and be okay through the pasture months. So we like Nubian goats. We like their milk. It does not have that goaty flavor or whatever to it. So we decided we were just going to go full on goat. We were going to sell Brownie, which we did. We sold her to Ruth Ann Zimmerman. Talk back, oh gosh, I don't know what episode it is, but if you look back in our videos, it's there. Anyway, Sunday and Brownie went to Ruth Ann, and then we started up with the goats we ramped it up a lot more, and we ended up with a total of 7 goats. We sold a couple of the kids that came and whatnot, but we had 7 full-grown goats. So we were good. We were milking goat. Things were wonderful. Brett decided that he didn't want to do goats. He wanted to do a cow again. I'm sure there's probably some, I don't know what the word is, some, help me think here. Some people who will say different, but we feel that a cow is more versatile in what we can do with it. And so we found a source that we could get the goat milk for Charlotte, and we decided to sell all the goats. And then we bought another cow. So somebody asked how you get started with goats and or a cow. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can do all your research, ask all the questions, contemplate, all that kind of stuff, or you can jump right in. We kind of did it both ways. When we first started, way back in the day, we jumped in. We knew we had the space for a goat. We did not a huge ton of research, but we knew we wanted to try and milk our goats. We knew we wanted a smaller goat, so we started with Nigerian dwarfs. we, as we went along, we learned more. We learned ways to keep them in the fence. We learned how to milk by hand. We learned that we don't like their milk. um, we we learned that the Nigerians have this just fun and energetic type personality. So we learned the basics as we went. Now, when we decided to switch into the Nubians, we did a little more research. We looked at milk production. We looked at there's a minute. So we looked at milk production. We looked at our family's needs. We looked at how they differ in terms of personality and needs than a Nigerian dwarf. We had to look at, some of the things that we learned with the dwarfs were, that they need different minerals. Well, we also owned Nigerian dwarfs when we lived in southern Minnesota. So the ground and the hay and all that down there is different than it is where we are here. So we had to figure out where, hey, stop, dog. We had to figure out where, what minerals our animals were going to be deficient in that they maybe weren't down there. So we kind of done it both ways when it comes to the goats. I recommend doing a little bit of research before you jump in. What are you going to use your goat for? Is it going to be just primarily milk? Do you want more of a funny pet, I guess? Do you want to use, do you want a mohair? Yeah, mohair. I think that's what I'm thinking of, or cashmere. I don't know, I'm having a mind fart. Do you want your goat for fiber? Do you want your goat for meat? Do you want a goat that could be dual purpose? What do you want? But other than that, there's going to be a lot of learn as you go. Because if you're brand new to it, you don't have all the knowledge that somebody who's had these animals for 10 years or more is going to have. There's little nuances that you can't necessarily Google, to find out. When it comes to infrastructure, goats don't need as much as a cow does. So you have to have good fencing. Goats need good fencing, especially Nigerian dwarf goats. They really need good fencing. You would have no idea these things can jump. Okay. So you need to have good fencing. You need to have space. It doesn't have to be acres and acres of pasture, but you need to have some space for them. They really like wooded areas. They like thistle. Out of all things, they like thistle. Goats are more, I don't know if foraging is the word, foragers versus just pasture grazers, I guess, but they would prefer to eat leaves off trees and eat thistle and other types of weeds versus just going out in a pasture and eating the grass like a cow would. So you have to, account for that. Contrary to popular belief, goats won't eat just anything. Okay? They like to nibble and taste on things, but not every goat is going to eat a pop can. Not every goat is going to clear a weeded area some people suggest. Oh, get goats, it'll clear out the weeds, whatever. Yeah, no, it doesn't work like that all the time. So, as for cows, we had the blessing, that's a good word for it, that Brett and my oldest daughter Nicole used to work at an organic dairy farm. So a lot of our milking knowledge and cow knowledge came from during their time there at the dairy. So we went into it with not only just more knowledge, but more eyes wide open thing. We also, our very first milking cow was I purchased from my cousin, who raised these cows, hand milked, machine milked, did all this kind of stuff. And so she was a good asset to have when it came to the cows. You have to have more land for the cows, unless you're going to hay. Some people hay, that's fine. But you have to have more land. You can't get away with just, I don't feel you can get away with just like a makeshift hut like you can with goats. You have to have something more stable when it comes to the cows. You have to remember that in order to get your milk, your cow has to get pregnant. You're going to have to either have a bull, have a way to get your cow to the bull. You're going to have to AI. All this is going to cost you money. And then once that cow calves, you get your milk, whatever. If you want to stay in milk, you're going to have to get the cow rebred. It's how it works. So now you've got 2 cows. Are you able to deal with 2 cows? Are you going to sell that one as a baby? Do you want to raise it for meat? If you keep it for meat, do you have the ability to get it butchered? Do you have a close local butcher? Can you do it yourself? So these are some of the things that having a cow is, where it's a little bit different maybe than having a goat. You're also going to have more milk than you think you will, especially when they are at the peak lactation. I want to say when Trinity Dairy sold us Susie, the one that we have right now, I think they said at her peak lactation, 8 gallons? 8 gallons, okay? Now they're a dairy. For them, that's like, whoa, yeah, that's great. For us, I don't know what I'm going to do with 8 gallons a day. So, I can only make so much cheese. I can only drink so much milk. So we'll see what happens, I guess. You also, that's the other thing with the milk cow, you got to figure out how are you going to get rid of your milk? Do you have pigs? Pigs will drink it. Chickens drink it. Barn cats like it. Water it down, put it in your garden a little bit. Things like that. But when you're getting up to 8 gallons of milk in a day for a family of 4, that's a lot. You also need to determine, are you milking once a day or twice a day? Are you going to calf share? Are you going to bottle feed? Are you going to, all these kind of things. So that's a long explanation to explain how to get started with milk cows and goats. All right. Let's see. $1 Million Lady. I don't know what's going on with her. I really don't. She's, her house, when we first moved in, her house was for sale. And then that's how she got the nickname $1 Million Lady, because her house had been on the market for, at first it was $1.5 million, then it went down to $1 million, then it was $9 million, and then just this last time it was $875 or something like that. But her house is off the market now again. So I don't know if it's a strategic thing where, sometimes when a house is on the market, it'll say it's been on the market for 600 days. Well, if she takes it off and puts it back on, she can say, oh, it's only been on the market for a couple days. I don't know. But We haven't really seen much of her other than the other day when we were having the issue with the road stuff. Brett did go over and ask her about it. And she was really polite at that time. You know, Brett expressed to her, we are not bad people. You know, just don't be a brat and we won't be bad neighbors, I guess. So, I don't know. The road situation. We still don't know what's happening because we are expecting, I guess, at the last meeting. So I didn't get to go to the June meeting like I wanted to because I had jury duty. But the July meeting, I guess it wasn't even brought up at that time. So we're still kind of in limbo. I know that all the way up through 2025, they can't do the road because the 5-year plan for our county does not have that road on it. So unless there's a way they can get around that, I don't know. We haven't gotten any correspondence. So at this point, I'm not 100% sure where it's standing. You can't come on camera like that. That's good. I can't even see your eyes. Your face is like all like dusty black and.
I'm gonna go into the shower.
Okay, when you're done with the shower, then we'll finish your portion with me. Okay, so don't sit forward a little bit. Let's see how bad it is.
I'm comfortable.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Sit forward? No.
Well, you just said it was going to be in your eyes. Okay. Anyway.
You're in my eyes.
Oh, you're so corny. All right. So I'm going to ask you some of these questions too. That is my foot bugging you?
No, I wasn't. No.
Okay.
Go.
That some people asked. So let's start with the last one that I did was the getting started with goats and the cow. What would be your, if you could give somebody advice who's never had a goat, never had a cow, but they want to start, what would be the first thing you tell them?
I guess I don't.
Fencing. That's what I do.
Well,
One of
I
the
mean
biggest
fencing, but
things.
why do you want the animal? I mean, what's your end game?
Yep, that was something that I
I
said
mean, what's
too.
your end game? Do you want the meat? Do you want the do you want the dairy? I mean, what's your end game?
Okay.
You know, that's I guess where I would start first if you want to decide which you have. I think if you want to be fully vested and involved and spend a lot of time with the animals, then goats is the way to go.
Why is it that every time we sit down to do one of these Q&As, they start?
But they don't start. They're always doing that.
They weren't doing that a little bit ago when I was just sitting here by myself.
Because they weren't together.
That's true. That's very true. Okay. Okay, so I talked a little bit about when we had Brownie and then we sold her because we had the goats and Brownie and then Sunday and then Emma. Why? So we got the goats. We were doing it for Charlie. We kind of decided we can all just drink goat milk because we liked their goat milk when we went to the Nubians. Why did you decide that you didn't want to do goats anymore and you would rather do a milk cow?
For me, there was more. I see more usage of it on the cattle side rather than the goat side. I'm not a huge fan of goat meat. I'm just not. Simple as that. I mean, I like sheep or I like lamb, but I don't really care for goat. And so for me, when you're butchering goats, you're butchering them at 50, 60 pounds. There's not much there. So for a family of 7, that's a lot of goats in order to sustain our family as far as meat. I mean, not that it's the only meat that we do, but with cattle and the dairy cattle, I mean, the milk, we use the cream, we use the butter, we make the cheeses, we drink the milk. Plus we use a lot of beef. We just use
The cow is
the cow, use the dairy cattle more than we do the goats. Not that I dislike the goats, but I think we get, as our family, we get more use out of the cattle.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next question. How do you eat seasonal living in the north where you can't grow all year long? It all depends. We found azure. Now, I'm not 100% azure is the only place you can go kind of thing, but they offer the seasonal fruits and vegetables that we aren't necessarily able to get in the winter.
Well, and we're also not a 100% fully sustainable farm as of yet.
Yeah,
I mean, we're just not. So, do we go to the grocery store? Absolutely.
yeah. But I think this person was particularly asking, like, how you want lettuce and you want, good tomatoes, to have on your burger or whatever in the middle of winter. How do you go about doing that? Well, yes, we have to go to the grocery store, but we also have a big family, and so sometimes we need to buy in bulk those items. And so Azure has helped us when it comes to like the fresh. Maybe that's what they're asking more of. How do you get the fresh stuff? We utilize Azure, but I'm not gonna shop Azure for my everyday essentials either. Some people do, and that's great. I look at Azure as a specialty spot for bulk items, meaning I can't find good quality organic quinoa that I would serve my family in our area. If I wanted to buy it in bulk, Azure would be my place to go because that's what I feel like that's what they specialize in. And so for things like that and the fresh fruits and vegetables and stuff over the winter, we go there. We also shop at our local. I feel like Joe Biden. We also shop.
No, that's
yeah. We also shop at our local store, and they get things in or whatever. But other than that, a lot of what we eat in the winter is what we've canned from.
Yeah, I mean, or if it's not a seasonal thing here, then we don't have it until the next season.
Yeah. Sometimes that's how it goes too.
And it's
like watermelon. I can't stand the winter watermelons that we get up here.
No,
that people.
There's no flavor to them. So.
And they're gosh awful expensive.
Yeah.
Just horrid. So, okay, just a minute. Brett had to rub my shoulder for a second. I've been having a lot of pain here, like it's been a week at least. I can't figure out. I think it's that new bed you bought.
Sucks getting old.
I am not getting old. Stop it.
Are you gonna stab me with a pen?
He stabbed a guy with a pencil. A freaking pencil. John Wick.
Oh. Unless it's Tombstone, I don't remember.
Oh yeah. I got one for the
One for the Ichi.
All right. We'll answer that question in a second. Talked about the road update.
But it said my name.
I know. I said we'll talk about that one in a second. The road. Have you heard anything else about the road?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I didn't think so.
And I haven't had a chance to go to any meetings or anything.
I know.
like that,
I
so.
talked about that too.
I know that it's not. It wouldn't even be started within the next
It can't.
3, 4, 5 years until even after 2025.
Yeah, it can't start until at minimum 2025 because that's the 5-year county plan. It's not even on there.
Right.
So-
But I think they're even still just trying to get numbers to even create a budget for it.
Well, okay. Does Brett miss working? Will he still stay home? My husband retires this fall and will have to adjust too.
That's a loaded question. I think what I miss is the camaraderie, I guess.
What? I'm
Would
not
that
a
be-
good enough coworker for
Oh
you?
my gosh. Come on, keep going.
Anyway, go ahead.
No, I mean I miss I miss the guys that I were working with. It was for the most part fun. What I was doing, not I enjoy doing mechanics. I enjoy working on heavy trucks. I didn't necessarily enjoy working on ready mix trucks, but it was a good job. So, I miss certain parts of it. You and I were having this conversation last night a little bit that I've had to adjust enough. It's just different schedule, I guess, home. So I've kind of had to adjust my way of thinking. But I'm still working. I'm busier now than I was before.
Yep, that's what we said last night.
So,
yeah.
so I actually move and do more work now than I did before. But I do miss some parts of going to a certain job or company because you create friendships and you create relationships with a lot of those guys and those people or whoever. And so there are things of that I do miss.
I think too, we talked about this, I think, last night a little bit. You said our schedule is so busy. Well, part of the reason that our schedule is so busy right now is because we had to put off a lot of things because Brett was working, and it's very difficult to maneuver 5-6 kids to dentist appointments and doctor's appointments and Charlotte's MRI stuff and all those kind of things. Plus, on top of that, we were having all the people come over for Charlotte, how many times a month and, all that kind of stuff, and trying to fit in these appointments for not just Charlotte, but for all the kids plus us. It was very difficult. Having somebody at home that can run and do those appointments and go those places, we've been able to, knock them out. Bam, 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 bam. Come winter, I don't think we're going to be as busy as we are right now. And that's the other thing. It's summer. You've got building projects going on. You've got the garden. You've got lawn maintenance. You've got all this stuff outside to do. Winter, it's not necessarily as busy.
And I think, with the mindset of, retiring, I guess, my only thing is that, when you go to a 9 to 5 or whatever, you have to get a certain amount of things done, in this amount of time frame. You have this time frame where you have to pretty much throw that style of thinking out, that it has to be done in a certain amount of time, and it doesn't. There's a lot. I would have liked to get this barn done a month ago. Yeah, absolutely. But it doesn't work that way. I can, tomorrow I'm going to try and get this done, and this done on the barn. You know what? Don't get upset if it doesn't happen. Big deal. Life's too short to get so worried about, I've learned life's too short to get worried about time frames like that. If I get down there for a half an hour and put 2 pieces of metal on, you know what? I got something done. It's progress. I got something done.
Right.
So I just don't, I'm trying to get myself out of the, this time. Just do what's next.
And also
Take time to relax.
Yeah. You've also taken more time with the kids. Not that you didn't care about them or anything before when you were working, but like you said, you work from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. You come home, it's time to eat. You have to go out, let's milk, let's get the lawn mowed, let's do all these things. And you only had this much time. Now you have this much time during your day, and you are able to do more, take the kids fishing, go. The other day he took, who was it, Evie, just on a little girls' date. They went, sorry, you're not a girl. Daddy-daughter date.
There's so many things I could say to that. But
anyway.
We'll leave that.
Took her on a daddy-daughter date, and they went out to eat and went to the store and, did stuff like that. So I think...
The sun is moving.
You want to trade spots?
Nope.
Oh, you just want to sit closer to me? Oh. Anyway. Okay, hold on. We're switching spots because I'm having. Ooh. Yeah, I don't want to sit that close to get the sun. Oh. I'm having issues turning my head this way, and so I couldn't really look at him very well. Anyway. Okay. How is it different having your hubby home? There are days where I want to.
Well, how about go back to which days do you not want to?
Should we pause the video for a minute? Okay, so it is. I thought for me it was going to be an easy transition. It wasn't. We sometimes are still learning
Oh yeah.
a little bit about how to navigate it. He messed up my schedule. You know, I have a schedule of how we do things, and he came in and kind of messed that up. He's getting a little bit better with that. With trying to give him the time that he needs to be able to go and do things and take care of things on the farm and whatever. I have struggled because sometimes it interferes with what we were or how we had structured things. When people found out that he wasn't working outside the home anymore, he started getting a lot more calls. Can you come help me do this? Can you do this at church? Can you go here for us? Can you do this? You know, whatever.
Which is fine because that was.
Yes, but when it starts to impact what we were trying to do here, helping is fine, but we also need to kind of,
Yeah.
you know, be respectful as well of each other and that kind of stuff. Is this like going to become a Dr. Phil show? That's kind of what it feels like right now, like we're having couples therapy. It's supposed to be a Q&A. We don't need to have therapy.
But you're not flexible, and I am, and you have to be.
I am flexible.
No, you're not.
If I wasn't... all right,
Just do it my way, and we'll be fine.
Talk about flexibility.
Take that, Dr. Phil. Do it my way.
Anyway, all right. My job.
That might not be the best subject.
Yeah,
right
nice.
now.
Maybe we shouldn't talk right now. No, the job at the clinic is going okay. I still work Monday through Friday from home. It kind of goes along with Brett being home and the whole schedule thing. He wants to get up and go outside and get started right away on doing, you know, working on the barn or mowing lawn or whatever. And I need him to...
Not do that?
No, not necessarily not do that, but before you just kind of throw me to the wolves, I need him to, you know, make sure the babies have clean diapers, please. Can you make sure that Charlotte got fed? You know, just kind of make sure everybody's comfortable and okay before you leave. And I'm on the phone and they come barging through the door. Mom, she hit me! You know,
No, but
that
they're
kind of
better. I
stuff.
mean, Elijah, if I go outside, Elijah's there.
Right, yes.
You know, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And so, and I think they've gotten used to more to that, come get me.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Um,
From my point of view.
well, you're wrong. Just by
One time. One time.
mark it on the calendar,
One
friends.
time.
Anyway, so it's his schedule and my schedule. We have to. That was kind of like we were talking about earlier. We got to kind of make it work. The job itself is still good. I like what I'm doing. I like helping patients. I like all that. There's just inner working office stuff that's weighing on me heavily. And, you know, keep in mind when I took this job, I didn't need it. I wasn't looking for a job. I wasn't anything. My cousin called and said, I need help. You know, okay, your family. I'm going to help you out. I love you, whatever. The things that I needed to make this happen. Alarm's going off. There's a bit. Okay, sorry. The things that I needed in order to facilitate me helping her, you know, she was willing to compromise on something she wasn't, and that was okay. It was kind of a give and take. So I went into this in a helping capacity, and now I feel like a little bit like it's kind of become more of a role than it was initially agreed upon. I don't know. I don't know if that's what it is, but it's overspilling into my family life and my family time, and I don't like that. And so I am not sure how I'm going to handle that. How are we going to handle homeschooling this year?
Whatever you have figured out.
Are you going to be more involved? Being
Yes.
at your home?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, we haven't really, you have an idea of what you would like to do,
Yes.
and we haven't necessarily sat down to see how that's all going to look and how we're going to do it.
That's true.
And right now, we don't necessarily need to figure that out right now.
No, we don't.
So
Not until
if
towards
we
the
have an
end of
idea
August.
of what kind of curriculums we want to do and the projects and different things we want to do, and that's fine. I think having that figured out is fine.
Yes.
But how it's actually going to go during the day, we don't know that yet,
That's true.
and we don't have to.
Not yet.
I'm
No,
not worried about
I
that
don't
yet.
think so. Part of the with Brett working, I was able to, and me not working, I was able to sort of structure my day more around the kids and the homeschool and stuff like that. And then I got the job, and I was struggling for a little bit because you were still working, and I was struggling for a little bit on when are we going to homeschool, when are we going to get this done, that done, whatever. Then you came home and threw my entire world into a tailspin.
Mm-hmm.
So we are still going to homeschool. That is all for your questions, sir. So if you want to, I know there wasn't a lot for you. I still got more for me, but if you want to go and
I'm just kind of like this shiny head here. It's
blinded by the light.
sun today and yesterday.
Yes, you did. You got. All right. Well. Bye. It's nice talking to you. I love you. Anyway. All right, he's gone. So, it does. It was so weird with the sun. I don't know. Hold on. That's okay. You look fine. Okay. All right. So this is Samantha. Samantha is 10 years old. Okay. So some of these questions that people ask, you may have already answered before, like for an Instagram thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But we've never done it on YouTube, I don't think.
All right.
Okay. So one of the first ones is, how do you like it with Dad being home now?
Oh.
And be honest. It's okay. You're allowed to be honest.
I like it, but also kind of don't like it because of Dad.
Oh, because he gets crabby sometimes?
Yeah. I'm not just saying that. I'm trying not to say that out loud because he's right in the
Yeah,
kitchen.
he can hear you. No.
But I like it.
Yeah. I'll say Brett doesn't have the patience that I do, being a stay-at-home mom. That's okay. We're built different. Okay, but you like it more
Yeah.
than okay. What's one of the best things about Dad being home that you like?
Probably that we get to go places more with him, like doing more fun things, like go fishing or go to the pool or go to the park more often.
Or when we went up to Agate Beach and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Yep, that gives us a lot more opportunity for that. Okay. Do you like homeschooling? Do you like to be homeschooled?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Why?
Oh, that's a hard question. Probably because I get to be with my family,
Okay.
not being gone all day. I don't have to wake up that early.
Yep, that's true. We don't have to wake up that early. That is a positive. Okay. What do you feel about mommy working at home?
I would say I'm just fine with it because I don't even know what it feels like when you're on. So I
That's
would
true
say-
because I don't have to leave the house, and you guys are able to come in and ask me questions and stuff. Just sometimes you have to help me keep the two little ones out of the room,
yeah.
like if I have to answer a call or
But-
something. For the most part, it
Yeah.
doesn't really bother you that I'm
doesn't.
working.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like about homesteading?
Yeah, these are all the questions that I already answered. I can't remember which one it was. Oh, I would say probably having animals.
Okay. All right. Which did you like better, the goats or Susie, the cow?
I don't. I would say probably the goats.
Okay. And you're not just saying that because you're sitting by me, are you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. What, I'm going to ask this one. What is one thing that you want to learn how to do on our homestead that you don't know how to do yet?
Probably to build stuff.
Like what kind of stuff?
Like help with a barn or help, I don't know, just build something.
Like using power tools and saws and drills and that kind of stuff? Okay. All right. That works. Okay. What are you yawning? They have all spent most of the day in the pool, so I'm
That's just
sure
right.
the fresh air and the sun and stuff is tiring them out a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that was all the questions that I had for you.
Alright.
Are you done?
Yes.
Do you want to say anything else?
No.
Goodbye. Go away. Tell Evie to come here.
Alright.
Oh, I have some questions for you. Do you want to answer some YouTube questions? Okay, go get your towel though. I want it down because you got a wet butt. Put it on here. Yes, the video is on. Yes. Hurry up, put it down and come sit down. Thank you. Okay. So this is Evie. Evie is 6 years old. Evie, how do you feel about Daddy being home now? Do you like it or not like it?
Kind of happy.
Kind of happy?
Because I want him to go in the pool more, to actually like play with us in the pool, not just like carry Charlotte around.
Okay, well, you realize that we literally just got the pool on Wednesday, so he hasn't really had much time to go in the pool. You know that, right? Okay, all right. Evie, what grade are you going to be in this year?
First.
Yep. Are you excited? Do you like to homeschool? You don't have to say yes just because I'm sitting here. Kind of. Okay, well, you've never been public schooled, so she really doesn't have an idea of the difference of it. So, okay.
Aileen has told me.
Oh, Aveline has told you? That's a friend. So, okay. What is your favorite animal on our farm?
Probably Emma and Susie.
Emma and Susie. Which do you like better, when we have the goats or when we have Susie?
Oh, yeah, Susie.
Why?
Because we're gonna get another cow, and if Susie dies,
we're gonna have like another cow again,
Okay.
and it's like
Okay. That works. All right. Julian, quiet. If you could learn, okay, what is one thing on the homestead that you want to know how to do that you don't know how to do yet?
so.
Sew? Oh. Okay. Sewing. All right. That sounds fun. Should we work on that one day? Maybe we'll do that for homeschooling this year. We'll do it. Okay. All right. Do you have anything else you would like to say? You don't think so? Okay, go get your brother. Tell him to come here for a minute. YouTube Land has some questions for you. Ready?
Sure.
Okay. First one is, how do you feel about Daddy being home? And be honest, it's okay.
Kind of iffy.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes I wish he still worked.
Okay. Is that because you and Dad sometimes have a headbutting thing? Do you think any of that is part of you being 14 and?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. What is one thing on the homestead that you wish you knew how to do that you don't know how to do?
I don't know.
I would have said drive the tractor, but Daddy is teaching you how to drive the
I
tractor.
already know how to do most of it.
What about driving the truck?
He's already taught me a little bit of it.
Oh, have you driven it yet by yourself?
A little bit.
What?
A little bit.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay. All right. Out of all the animals we have on the farm, what's your favorite right now?
It's either between Emma, Sassy, and Groot.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Otis sometimes too.
The Sassy, Groot, and Otis are our dogs. Which would you rather have, the goats or Susie?
Susie.
Why?
Last choice.
Oh, well, that's an honest answer. Okay, that is true. Okay,
Now.
so what is something that you like to do here around the farm?
I'd say maybe. I don't know.
Okay. What about Daddy is teaching you the safe way to use the guns? Is that fun?
Yeah.
Sometimes. Is it scary or is it no? Okay. How do you think you're doing?
Good.
Good. Good deal. Okay. I don't even know if I introduced you. This is Timothy. Timothy is my 14-year-old son. My oldest
How
son.
dare you?
I know. I'm sorry. I'm a horrible mom. Okay.
You are.
All right. It is bedtime. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's Q&A video. I think I got to everybody's questions. If not, I'm sorry. Maybe in a few months we'll do another one. Other than that, you guys have a great week and we'll see you again later.